Bonjour Hi, my loves. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing fine. So on today's date, January 26th, 2025, it marks 2 years ever since I started my YouTube journey and later on my podcast journey. And I wanted to celebrate in today's video by answering a lot of questions. So prepare yourself some tea, some coffee, a little matcha, why not? And let's enjoy today's video. Which video was my favorite to film? Other than the videos that I have with my friends, because of course, the more the merrier. I feel like with my friends, it's always easy to laugh and just spend a good time together. So other than these videos, I would say recently my casual winter outfit ideas, it was just so funny. Like the scenarios, it was so funny to film and to edit. I really wanted to channel the same feeling that I had back in the days when Tana Mongeau used to film her hauls. It was always so funny and so Tana, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do the same, and I had so much fun. So it has to be casual winter outfit ideas. And when it comes to podcast, I would say one that was super easy for me to film a podcast episode because I didn't need to like follow a script or like learn things by heart. It was quite natural. It was Netflix We Have a Problem. I love watching TV shows. I do that all day, every day. So filming this episode was really fun. What's the most challenging video you've ever made? For me, it's not a specific video, but it's all the videos that had two different angles. For example, the cooking videos and the video where it's like, come draw with me in my coloring book, something like that. These videos with two angles, for me, it's so complicated, whether it's to film, because I always like need to keep that in mind that there's two angles, so to kind of like show the necessary things in the different angles, but also to edit, to kind of like try my best so the movement is the same as what I'm saying in the moment. I don't know if it's clear, but when there's two angles, it really sucks. But I do it because it's aesthetically more pleasing to watch a video of me cooking and you see like the shot of me like actually cooking and not just my face saying that I'm cooking. You know what I mean? My least favorite part about content creation, it's so random, but it's to set up for my podcast. Like making sure that the mic is working well, bringing the lights, putting myself together, like this part. And it's so weird because it's like, what, 10 minutes that it takes me? But it's like, but I hate it so much. I really don't know why. And the other thing that's my least favorite part about content creation, it's when I'm editing and I have like a vision of what I want my video to feel like and look like, but I cannot properly translate it, or I can eventually translate it, but it takes so much time. That's when it's like frustrating to me. For example, when it comes to like making some sound effects here and there, when I have the exact sound in my mind, but I cannot fucking find it in the sound library of iMovie, that sucks. That sucks so much. And I have to spend like 10 minutes just to find a little bleep sound. Like, that's the second thing that I hate. Is there a video idea that you have been dreaming of but haven't started yet? The answer is yes. I actually have a whole other concept channel almost that I have in mind, that I have the visuals, I have the themes, I have the title, you name it. It's just that for this concept to properly be made in the way that I want it to be, I feel like I need a production team almost. And when I say production team, I only mean like a cameraman and like maybe a mic person and an editing person, which is honestly a production team. And I hope that one day it can see the light. I really do. What's one skill or tool that I would like to learn for my channel? it has to be graphic design. Just the ability to like have cool visuals, cool videos that are made by me, and that I can have like a total control creatively and not having to like limit myself with what's available on Canva. I feel like graphic design could be a great skill for me to learn for this YouTube channel, for my marketing job in the future, you name it. I feel like it's a really, really great skill to learn, and that I would never like regret it to have spent time and money to learn on graphic design. What is your proudest moment you achieved on YouTube so far? I honestly have a lot. I would say that, of course, having 100 followers was so much to me, because what do you mean me having 100 followers? Like, it just doesn't make sense, and it just proves to me that if I really want to achieve something in life, nothing is impossible and the sky is only the limit. Same thing for when I actually did and film 15 YouTube videos for the last 15 days of December 2024 and actually posted them. I was so proud of myself, because again, same for the 100 followers. The fact that not only did I challenge myself, I was actually able to follow my commitment, and to know that I'm actually capable to achieve the goals that I give myself is kind of a big rewarding feeling. And a little bit, I know I said a lot of things, but I would say the last thing is the fact that I stayed consistent, because in life I have a huge problem when it comes to like consistency and routines and you name it. And the fact that ever since I started my YouTube channel and my podcast, I uploaded every week. Don't get me wrong. I know that when I started my YouTube January 26, 2023, I uploaded some videos for like 2 or 3 months, and then I took a 8-month break for I don't know what reason, but it happened. And to still be able to do this as a hobby, it's super, super cool. What's one goal that I've achieved that I'm super proud of? Again, like I mentioned, achieving 100 followers. It just meant, and it still means so much to me. Even when I achieved 200 followers, it's like, what do you mean I did that? I know these numbers may seem small to you, but for me to be able to achieve that, it just means a lot. Like, never in a million years you would have asked this little 7-year-old me, who was extremely shy and scared, that 15 years later almost she will have YouTube as a hobby. Like, this is so insane, and I'm super, super, super grateful. What motivates you to keep on going? Honestly, it has to be my dreams and my goals, where I want to see myself in 3 years, where I want to see myself in 5 years. That's the thing that really helps me still staying consistent and helps me be even more creative and just overall post content on YouTube. How have you changed as a creator in the last 2 years? I would say it's more in my podcast journey. In the beginning of my podcast, I used to talk mainly about my life, the dramas, the story times, the tea. But even while I was doing that, I knew that it wasn't sustainable, because I'm gonna be honest, I quite have a boring life. Like, I'm kind of a homebody, so the story times at a certain point, they will be non-existent because of my lifestyle. It quite happened during the summer, where I accidentally, quote unquote, stopped talking about my life, because during the summer I had just so many pop culture talks to talk about, and I love pop culture. I've always loved pop culture, and during the summer it was like a week I was talking about Simone Biles, another week I was talking about reviewing CXOXO by Camila Cabello, another week Love Island, another week my PR predictions of Love Island. So it kind of happened accidentally in that sense, because I didn't plan to, like, at that moment stop talking about my life on my podcast. But I'm super, super, super grateful that it happened, because it just makes me more happy filming, makes me want to get even more creative in my topics, and I kind of have this security in the sense of I know that I will never run out of subjects, compared to when my podcast was only about my life, that would happen quite often, and it made me like want to post less and kind of lose my little motivation that I had towards podcasting. But from now on, because it is mainly about pop culture, movies, TV shows, music, celebrities, you name it, I get never bored. So this is fantastic. What's the biggest lesson that I've learned from being on YouTube? It has to be perseverance, because when it comes to my channel and my whole YouTube journey, like, I'm not having like quote unquote instant viral moments. Like, it is a slow pace. Some weeks I have only like 25 views on my videos, and sometimes it kind of makes me like think to myself, is it even worth it if I spend so much time working on this video or just working on YouTube if I only end up having like 25 views? Like, what's the point? And I always think back to myself that in life I've never had things come to me easily, so why would it be the exception on YouTube? So it just makes me like keep on working even harder on YouTube. And if I'm correct, it took 5 years for Mr. Beast to achieve 1,000 followers. So knowing where he is now is just so inspiring. And I'm not claiming to be the next Mr. Beast, but it's just like, at the end of the day, the views doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that your content is less valuable. So that is something that I learned on YouTube. Where do you see your channel in 5 years? Honestly, I see myself doing what I am still doing, but maybe with a bigger budget, having a concept show like I said earlier, and maybe have videos that are more in this like journalistic type of way. Like, for example, for my podcast episode about Ozempic, the truth about Ozempic, I wish I could have like had a more journalistic type of approach, like actually go see people who are consuming Ozempic, asking them questions, asking a question to a doctor and stuff, like actually me doing that. It will be awesome if in the future I can do that. Who do I get inspired by on YouTube? I would say it's a mix with Tana Mongeau and Emma Chamberlain's. They're both of their YouTube channels in their early days. Like, I remember watching them like when they had not a lot of followers individually. And what I loved about them both is, even though they have like different style of YouTube, different content and stuff, back in the days, they were the only YouTube creators that made me feel super comfortable in being myself, in being messy, in being just overall a teenage girl. And I hope that this feeling I can be able to translate it to the people who are watching my videos. If I could travel anywhere in the world to film a YouTube video, I would say I would love to go to LA. I feel like, you know, the like whole little influencer, little YouTuber who once became famous goes to LA pipeline. I feel like the YouTubers who do that, they kind of, again, that's just like my impression. It doesn't mean that it's the truth, but I feel like they don't really appreciate LA as much as I would like them to appreciate it. Like, nobody is taking a picture in front of the pink wall anymore. Nobody is like, I don't know, enjoying LA, I feel like. And I would love to do like a series or like a video like LA things, or like just so typical LA things that I can do during a day, during a week, just so my inner self when I was a child watching these YouTubers go to LA, I could like be like, oh my god, I'm doing the same. Like, I would love to do that. If you could invite one fictional character in your channel, who would it be and why? I have two perfect answers for that. First one, it has to be Michael Scott from the TV show The Office. I absolutely love Michael Scott. He was my favorite character. Hilarious. And I don't know if it's like bad for me to say, but in a lot of things I kind of felt seen by Michael Scott's actions. Like, I feel like he's the final level of like my alter ego. And the second one has to be, I'm so glad that I thought about this character because it's such a perfect answer. It has to be Devi from Never Have I Ever. She was so messy, so entertaining and funny. I feel like I would treat her a little bit like a little sister, and I would give her my advice, but if she doesn't want to listen, because Devi only listens to herself, I'll see her like doing the mistakes that I advised her not to do, but like I would have also like a bucket of popcorn on the side, because I know it is so entertaining to just see her in the wild, you know? I feel like Devi and Michael Scott would be great people for me to have on the Big Dwarf Pod. My dream collab on YouTube, I have multiple people in different categories. If you talk dream collab with everything that has to do with music, I would say Ashley Ippolito and Cameron Susan. When it comes to like drama and pop culture, I would say it's Keisha and the Just Trish podcast. And just for laughs and giggles, I would say Upstairs Neighbors, Sprinkles and Spice, Fanita, Suburb Talks, and Brittany Broski. It would be so fucking amazing. And honestly, I have so many other people that I want to collab with other than just in the American YouTube game. Like, oh my god, I want to collab with everyone that I love. Simple as that. Which video surprised you the most with its success? I would say the video that I made about why do we still care about Romeo and Juliet. I didn't expect it to have like around 600 views. I know it may seem a lot for some of y'all, but for me, at that point, it was my highest viewed video ever. And I didn't expect it to be, because after that I posted this video, I realized that people, the youth, every time that it would talk about Romeo and Juliet was in like a school context. And I was like, oh, maybe people won't care a lot about Romeo and Juliet because they already hear about it enough at school. So let me tell you, I was super surprised when I saw the amount of people who viewed it and liked it, and I was like, oh my god, people care about Romeo and Juliet. Of course they do. And I guess they liked me kind of getting out of my comfort zone and getting out of like back then just talking about pop culture and exploring different themes, in this case theater. So it was super cool. Same thing happened to me for the video Let's Talk About Mean Girls, not the movie. I was super glad to see the reception of this video and how people understood my point and agreed with me. I was super glad. Same thing for Meritocracy. Like all these videos that I just mentioned were videos that I wasn't too sure about the reception, and seeing that you liked it really made me happy. I was like, okay, I can trust my gut even more. So on that note, I hope you liked today's video. I hope that you were able to learn a little bit more about me, maybe, at least on my YouTube journey, about who I want to become as a YouTuber, about my goals and stuff. Like, I'm super happy that I did this video, and fingers crossed for more years to come on me on YouTube. So on that note, I hope you have a beautiful night of sleep. I love you. Take care. Au revoir.